Good morning. Good afternoon.
And good
I don't
evening.
even know what time it is, to be honest with you.
Or what day it is, besides it's Easter.
What is it? Is it September yet? Is it
No.
Is it August? I don't know. Either way, welcome to all of our listeners. This is Gil.
This is Lou having mic issues.
Well, Lou needs to talk into the mic and stop looking
It's not
around.
working.
Well, that's better. You know how like you go, this is Lou.
I know, but it wasn't working. I don't hear myself.
I understand you. This is one of the problems
So
that we
can
have.
you hear me?
Locked up, yes. I can't hear
so
you.
then I might as well not use these.
I can't hear you.
I don't hear shit.
Your mouth, young lady. Like,
Hey,
what's
we're
wrong
not
with
PG,
you?
okay?
Jesus
We're
Christ.
completely R-rated.
I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. Since
On the whole episode or just the...
Yeah, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
No. I feel in control. So we're starting off. I don't want to say negative, but I guess what we've all been dealing with the last, I don't know, it feels like a lifetime, but I guess it's only been a month. The thing we call coronavirus, aka COVID-19. So just a couple things happened this week. Not to say that there hasn't been anything going on, but a little less eventful. So I guess the good news is that over the last few days, the amount of new patients into the hospitals has decreased. So it's a positive thing. Thankfully, it means the social distancing is working. People have to not get comfortable and think, oh, it's time to go back to normal life, because we're not there yet. But at least take it as a positive thing. It means that all of this Groundhog Days, these are working. The other thing that happened was that the unfortunate thing is the death toll continues to rise. And normally it's for people that have been in the hospital probably in the last couple weeks or so. So after, not to be morbid, but the thing with respirators is that the longer that you're on a respirator, the less likely you can get off the respirator. So the hospital will try to get you, to try to breathe on your own and sustain yourself without the machine as quickly as possible, because once your body gets dependent on the machine, unfortunately, it's not usually a good outcome. So that's the unfortunate part of the week, is that the death toll continues to rise. But I guess the bright side is that new cases for hospitalizations is going down. So that's a little glimmer of hope.
I've been having some conversations with colleagues of mine, and they shared their stories. There's one in particular who had symptoms. Her and her husband have had symptoms, and it seemed like it was touch and go. To be honest with you, I thought, okay, she's not coming back to work in September. All jokes aside, I felt like this is serious, because now you start, you find people, like you know people now.
It starts hitting closer to home,
and it's just like, whoa, okay. But she shared a bit of information of what she went through in trying to get a test done, and they didn't want to test her. They didn't want to test her
really?
or her husband. Yeah, they didn't want to test them. They said, no need. Just stay home, deal with whatever it is that you're dealing with, basically, and hopefully it'll yeah. But they didn't get tested. So I'm wondering how many people are going through this without getting tested. Maybe their doctors are saying no. The hospitals are denying them. So it could be a higher number, obviously, but we don't know, because el doctors are saying stay home.
So did she go to the hospital and was denied, or did she call her doctor?
She did a one of those video conferencing thingies.
Oh, with a telemed or whatever?
Yeah, I have no clue, but I know that's what she did. And they said no. They basically turned her away.
See, I think if she would have went to the hospital, then they probably would have had to test her. They didn't have a choice. But I think the telemed thing is probably discouraging people from getting tested, which I think, again, is a bad thing because that means that number is underreporting what the reality is.
I mean, the only thing I can think of, the only thing I think of, honestly, is there's some funny business going on. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Well, remember, I also pointed out to you during the week that normally each day I watch Cuomo's, his, I guess, press conference is the best word I can think of. And I usually watch it pretty much every day. And I always send screenshots to my sisters so that I can keep them in the loop. And I noticed this week that they were not saying how many positive cases in New York City. The only thing that they would say specifically were how many deaths, which I think is a little concerning. I had to actually go to an article that I go to on my news app to find out how many positive cases in New York City. And actually that number is by state. So that's actually a New York State number. So I think that is a little funny business too.
So I'm looking at our YouTube chat, and there is a person listening to us, Giovanni. Hello out there.
Shout out.
So he says that I'm guessing it's a he, Giovanni, right? Is that a female?
Oh, you already know who it is.
I know who it is. I'm just kidding. So he says that for those who do have symptoms that aren't tested, have been sent home and have gone into cardiac arrest. Is that crazy?
That's very grim.
And
really
he
scary.
goes on to say that it's sad to say they've passed on. That is nuts. That is crazy.
I say that's a damn lawsuit.
I mean, I'm wondering how you know this. Again, we got to think about your job. So,
word on the street.
Yeah, word on the street is that they've been sent home and have gone into cardiac arrest. I mean, so I've heard.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's still concerning though.
But that sucks, man. If that's the reality, that really is horrible, man. I mean, I'm wondering, how could I just don't get it. I mean, you know me. I'm always thinking something's up. The government is playing games.
Well, yeah, you've also said that sometimes they purposely exclude information. And sometimes I think it could be valid just not to cause panic. I think that them focusing on the effects, the fact that there's less hospitalization is their way of making sure that people don't think that they're just doing all of this, stay at home for nothing. So it's kind of like the little glimmer of hope. But if they're not saying how many positive cases continue to rise, I think that's dishonest. That doesn't help people because they're not being forthcoming with information. And that's why I said every day they would, rattle numbers. This week, they only rattled the numbers of new hospitalizations and or the death toll, which I don't think is right. So,
what do you want to do about it?
Well, we can't do shit. We don't work. We don't work for the government, nor do we have much of a say.
I mean, we do have a say. To be
the only thing I guess I can say is, people out there, be aware. Just notice things. Be mindful. Be conscious. Notice differences in things and how they're going on and changes. And I think that's not to throw out conspiracy theories and that kind of stuff because I don't want to cause grief, but I do think that you have to always be aware.
Well, Giovanni has
the guy from the street.
Yeah, the guy from the street has retracted. Well, I wouldn't say he retracted the whole statement, but he said that for those who do have symptoms that are tested, have been sent home and have gone into cardiac arrest. So those who have been tested.
Oh, so maybe they weren't serious enough to stay in the hospital, but then when they got home, it got worse quickly?
Right. I guess, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think, okay, so interesting you said that. So I actually watched an interview, I think it was this morning while I was cooking breakfast. I do that. I watch, like, talk show stuff while I cook. So anyway, that's my me time.
We need like
since I don't have the gym anymore.
We need a little screen, like a little TV in the kitchen.
I do it on the iPad. It's big enough. But anyway, so I was watching Chris Cuomo, who also has COVID-19, COVID-19, and he's in self-quarantine in his basement. So anyway, he was talking about how it feels to have it and his experiences with it, and the fact that he felt like his lungs were being attacked. And he, I guess, got some advice from a cardiologist or a pulmonary specialist that said that you have to continue trying to fight. You have to, it's like, I'm not going to say this is true in all cases, because I don't think that's legitimate either. But I do think that willpower and your fighting spirit, I think, does have things to do with healing. And I learned that from my mom. So I think that in his case, he feels that he tries to push himself to do a little more. Not that he's leaving his basement, but he pushes himself to take deeper breaths, or because he said that's one of the symptoms, that it's hard for him to breathe deeply. So he pushes himself to do that because he doesn't want to just lay down and feel sick, because he said that's what the doctor said not to do.
Mind over matter?
Kind of. Well, like I said, I do think it does play a part. I don't think in every case it could be what heals you, but I definitely think it helps.
I mean, it's a little fear, like I'm a little scared to go, out there. I'm a little nervous sometimes to go out there.
To go outside?
Yeah, not to go outside, but like to go to this grocery store.
Well, that's the one. That's why I've opted to be the runner.
Yeah,
I'm the one that goes.
But you're still bringing it home to me.
Yes, but I also go in early as hell in the morning. That store opens at 7. I'm there by 7:15, 7:30.
All it takes is one, Ma. All it takes is one.
But I'm out there with my gloves. I'm out there with my mask. I have my hand sanitizer in my pocket. And I thoroughly scrub the shit out of my hands when I get home. Just because even though you have gloves on, they still say that stuff can kind of get through it.
I want you to scrub me.
Oh, my God. This is not turning into the porno channel. So, anyway, so I do think that it's better for one of us to take a risk and go out as opposed to both of us to get and going out. At least
that's
that's
the same thing. You're bringing it back. Anyway.
I don't think so.
So, you know what? We're going to move on to something lighter.
Lighter and brighter?
Because, there are hell of a lot more statistics out there for this, man.
I didn't even get into all that.
Oh, my Jesus. So I guess for those who are, looking to do something, who, need a little entertainment, right?
Wait, I think you're skipping.
Skipping what? What am I skipping?
Our little agenda here?
What's our agenda?
You said, okay, so something I watched, again, while I was cooking is, it was an episode of Trevor Noah, the Daily Social Distancing Show. And I think it was filmed earlier this week. So he posed a good question, and I thought it was really, really interesting. And it was that, is COVID-19 affecting relationships? So I guess he had some statistics and stuff. And I think he also spoke to like a lawyer, a divorce lawyer. And basically what's going on with some people is that they are obviously spouses are quarantined together, and some of them weren't going through the best of times before this. So some of them were in the process of getting divorced, so that's all on hold. Or some of them thought about divorce because of this. But it also, I thought it was something interesting to me because it had something to do with what you were saying to me earlier in the week. Would you like to share that with everyone?
Why are you trying to make this personal, girl?
You already made it personal with your little porno comment.
Rub a dub. Is it
Do you not remember?
Okay.
Don't be trying to skip past what I said.
All right. So here's the thing. You have those who, I mean, basically, when you're in a relationship, you're stuck with that person in the house. I feel bad for those cheaters who have, sides.
Yeah, right. The side chicks are not getting the love.
OMG. They are not getting it, especially the person who, who's straying from the relationship. They can't go out there and they can't get a little something, something.
I don't feel bad for the cheaters.
So, again, if you're in a bad relationship, this is the wrong time to be quarantined. I'll tell you that much. Mm-hmm. Especially those who are, on a serious note, who are in abusive relationships.
Yep. They also said they mentioned that, but not in this episode that I watched. How unfortunate that there are a lot of domestic abuse cases, and this doesn't help because you're confined.
Yeah, it's a bad time to be quarantined. I tell you that much. But okay, if you want the people to know.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you're so cheesy. You're sleeping on the recliner.
No, I ain't.
No, I ain't.
Yep.
Dude, honestly.
Yep.
That
was just a little nork.
We're gonna have a conversation.
That was just a little nork.
Yeah.
She comes out every now and then.
So, well, that nork should stay over there if that's the case. If you're gonna be speaking like that.
Okay, say the nice thing.
All right. So for us. Or for me, anyway, I'll speak of my personal feelings.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I can't with you. So throughout the month, I guess of being with you here,
quarantined.
I started feeling. I don't know. I don't know what that feeling was, to be honest with you, but I felt a little happy. I felt. I was happy to wake up in the morning and then see you here, because a lot of times you'll get up before me and then you'll leave and I won't even know.
Yeah, you're like asleep. Just getting up.
I'm half asleep, and then I'll go through my day and so on and so forth of working and dealing with
children,
students, and colleagues that I do not like. I don't care.
Oh my god.
I'm being totally honest. Either way, that's the reason why I get what's that word? Frustrated and pissy, because I deal with some of the colleagues who are assholes. I'm not gonna lie. So I come home and I have that frustration with me, and I'm here by myself for a while.
Way earlier than me.
For a while, I'm here by myself, so all that stuff starts to eat at me.
Almost 4 hours.
Yeah, pretty much three to four. So yeah, I'm frustrated, and I have that with me throughout those hours, and then finally you get home, and then we spend maybe an hour and a half because you're going to sleep super early, because that's just who you are.
Because I like to sleep and I like to feel functional the next day.
So this month, having, being able to see you in the morning, know you're there, have conversations with you, hang out with you. We have to do our work in separate rooms, right?
We do that by choice, not by necessity.
Yeah. But I started to feel, shit, I can get used to this. Like, we haven't argued, right? We've had a disagreement.
We had a disagreement. That's
but
one is not bad out of a whole month.
But we haven't argued. We've spent time. We've enjoyed each other's company.
Oh, just a little footnote. Our kids are grown. They're out of the house. So
right.
Therefore we're not dealing with the little ones. So I do feel for the people that have to deal with their kids,
right.
Their younger children.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Either way, again, I felt like I was happy. I'm content. I'm happy. Like, I'm totally fine. Maybe it's because of the computer accessories that I bought.
And your little setup is getting nice.
And I have something to do, and it's like, wow, okay, maybe it's that. That's something that can contribute to this feeling. But either way, like, when it comes to you and I and having to be here, all day, every day, 24 hours, it's just like I'm okay. I'm happy. I'm happy I get to see you. I'm happy I get to spend time with you. Like normally it wouldn't happen that way, when we're working. Um, you probably get 2 hours with your spouse, with your mate, and then you're off to sleep to do it again the next day, to do it again the day after. You know what I mean? Like it's this continuous thing. But, during this time, I'm actually able to have conversations with you, talk to you, spend time with you, joke with you, play with you, around you.
Ugh.
I meant to say play with,
Yeah.
board games.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
Well, we have played Jenga.
Yeah.
Dominoes.
So it's just cool. Like it's a cool thing for me. Like I'm happy. So I'm not frustrated. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I see you here. Ugh, and I can't stand to look at you. Ask me that 8, 9 years ago, 10 years ago. Different story. Different story.
Well,
No.
that, just so everyone else knows, that's before me. But anyway, I have to say that I enjoy being around you. And so therefore, us is probably the best part of this whole quarantine thing. I do have to admit that I do get a little stir crazy being home all the freaking time because I like to be outside. So, like a puppy, you have to walk me every once in a while.
I'm a homebody. I like to be inside. I like to be inside. That sounded nasty. I like to be in the home, relaxing, whatever it is. And then, if there's something good happening, if it's nice weather, I like to be out there taking pictures or seeing, new things or whatever it is. That's what I like. So you're good with me. Plus, I don't drink like that.
Well,
So,
we have our sipping Saturdays lately that we've been watching Instagram DJs live stream. I think it's pretty cool. So that's a highlight too. But anyway, moving on to the next subject.
well, we have another listener who said it's hard too when you're in a good relationship, and obviously you can't see that person.
Oh, that they're quarantined separately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does suck.
Separate queue. That's what we'll call it. We'll call it a separate queue.
Aw.
Hashtag separate queue. For all, who knows? Maybe it'll work. Separate queue. I mean, it does suck when if you're in a really good relationship or you're feeling a little.
Hey.
Well, I'm just saying stuff like that is what I mean. As an adult is what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know if what's her name, Sierra, is an adult. So hopefully you are, and you're not thinking about other bad things.
Anyway.
So what do we have now? Is this the one with the
Oh, so the next thing. Okay, so this will be quick. So during this quarantine time, I've noticed little things about myself that I've either learned or embraced or whatever you want to call it.
I didn't learn jack.
I know. You're learnless. Anyway, I guess because I like to cook, so I've been trying to, if the people that actually follow my regular Instagram.
And I love to eat.
I notice. I'm not even going to say anything else. I love to cook. And lately, well, for the last, 2-3 months, we've been getting HelloFresh, which we've just canceled, which I'm a little sad about.
Bummer. Well, you lost the bet. I could have, I was going to.
I know.
I was going to go ahead.
Maybe we'll pick it back up later, but right now it's a little expensive, so we have to start being a little more budget conscious. But anyway, so I like to cook, and I've noticed for me that is what I look forward to. Besides, hanging with you, I look forward to planning out what we're eating. It's just weird, and I try not to eat bad stuff, nor do I try to give you too much bad stuff either. So, I think that's a positive thing out of the things that we've learned during quarantine. But I did give myself a chance to, try different things. Like, stupid thing, but I didn't know I like Honey Nut Cheerios. Never tried it before. Just assumed that it tastes bad because Cheerios is gross.
The fact that you've never tried
it.
Honey Nut Cheerios before is amazing to me.
I know. I never tried it. So
Is it because of back in the days, like they were expensive, so your parents got like
No, we had Wick cereal, so
like
we had the
nut and
unhealthy
honey,
shit.
like nut and honey Cheerios or
Never tried that either.
nut and honey O's or something
No,
like that?
I never tried that either. We used to eat Kaboom and Kicks. Shout out to all your Wick families out there.
What?
So, and the other thing, I didn't think I really liked almond milk, even though everybody keeps praising it, blah blah blah. But I actually have gotten accustomed to eating my little almond milk and Honey Nut Cheerios
It's not bad actually. It really isn't
with
bad.
no extra sugar because I'm a sugar fiend.
The vanilla is good.
The vanilla's better, but
it
we've
takes
cut back
away-
on that too.
It takes away from the taste of the other sugary things. It makes it even more sweet. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
it's too sweet. So I've actually cut back on that too. So anyway, I would say during this quarantine time,
At least we have Maria who hates, or rather who's tired of cooking. And she's never tried Honey Nut Cheerios either.
I told you we're Wick kids. We didn't have
How
that.
do you know that
Maria? Because she's my sister. Shut up.
Wow. How would you say that?
I don't know if Linda and Victoria have ever tried it because of their own kids, but I definitely never gave that to Nasi. Actually, maybe I did, but I never ate it.
So what else have you learned about yourself?
Like I said, I didn't realize how much I do need to like go outside every few days to get a little fresh air because I do feel a little confined. So I don't know. I never felt claustrophobic, but that's my only way of describing it. Feeling claustrophobic a little. And you told me to run up and down the hall, but that doesn't help.
Run up and down the hall.
That doesn't help.
That's funny.
Or stick my head out the window to get fresh air. That doesn't help either.
Do suicide drills right in the hallway. You'll be all right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I haven't learned anything.
And I learned that I watch a little too much freaking TV.
Wait, you know what? Let me think. Have I learned anything about myself? Something new from this? I guess being in this situation. No, actually no. No.
So your homework assignment is to learn something new about yourself this week.
I guess, but I don't think that there's. I'm this way regardless of any situation. To be honest with you, I am like this regardless of any situation.
I don't know.
All right. Okay. So here's your task right now. Can you think of anything that you find that I do that's new, being in this situation? Outwardly.
So something that you do new
Yeah,
now that we're in quarantine.
Yeah, because this is basically finding something new
Wait,
about myself.
Is this my homework assignment for next week?
Can you do it now? Are you able to do it now?
I'd have to really think about it. That's gonna take too long. So we'll continue talking, and if it pops in my head, then
Okay.
I'll say it, and if not,
All right.
it'll be a follow up for
So
next week.
let's move on then. So I guess for all those who are trying to find something new, maybe someone who loves watching movies, TVs, or so on and so forth, Apple TV is actually providing viewers with movies and shows. A lot of
For free.
Yeah, for free without having any kind of subscription to their service.
Oh, actually, it's called Apple TV Plus.
Oh yeah, Apple TV Plus. So if you have an Apple TV, I think you can download it, right? I don't know if you can download it.
You
on
can do it
on
on
a
your
PC.
phone if you have an iPhone, or
Yeah.
if you have Apple TV, the box.
Right, you can download the app.
Yeah, you can download the app.
And I don't know. I honest.
Sorry, Android people.
Unfortunately, on a side note though, I think Apple is actually kind of hurting with their Apple TV Plus service because it's kind of crappy. So I guess this is the best time for them to attract
People.
Yeah, who'd want to pay that $5. I think it's $5 a month.
Yeah, unless you bought a new iPhone last year, right? They were offering free subscription with the purchase of a new iPhone, but I think it was only for 1 year. So we probably will disconnect that once it's over.
Most likely. But either way,
there's only for us personally, there's only one show that we really watch. No, yeah, one show that we watched together. Another show that I wasn't too crazy about. I was waiting for it to get better, and I'm sorry, it just didn't do it for me. And there are like 2 other shows that I want to watch that are new. That's it.
Well, All
So
right,
that's not a lot to be paying $5 a month.
no, it's not. But their content is small. But you can download this. I believe on Roku. If you have a Roku, if you have an LG Smart TV, Samsung.
Oh, like a smart TV.
Yeah, Fire Sticks. If you have that, you can download the Apple TV app.
Apple TV Plus app.
Okay, yes, that.
Be clear.
Okay, Apple TV Plus. So yeah, you have that, and their content is not bad. I haven't seen anything, but one of them, I'll to name a few. The Elephant Queen is one. Little America is another. Servant, which we've seen, it's kind of crazy.
Well, that was the one I was a little disappointed.
With M. Night Shyamalan.
I expected a little bit more, and I don't know.
Yeah, I did as well. For All Mankind, I thought For All Mankind was actually pretty good. It's basically a reversal. Like, what if Russia, what if they were the first ones on the moon? So here in this show, it's basically the U.S., trying to fight for supremacy, I guess. And, Russia was, they were the first ones on the moon, first ones to send women to the moon. So, of course, the U.S., had to do the same. Yeah, they were basically playing catch up. So that is basically Apple TV Plus. Well, a few more, but that's Apple
that's
TV
being
Plus
offered
is
for free during this trial period.
That's their content that they'll be providing free service, as well as HBO Go. You said HBO Go, right?
Yes.
So
and on HBO Go, they don't have a limit on what you have access to.
So
it's everything. This is
the perfect time. Perfect time to.
So those people who want to catch up on the old Sopranos episodes or Sex and the City or new stuff like Insecure, it's a good time.
Or Game of Thrones if you haven't.
What rock have you been living under if you haven't seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah. So Apple TV Plus, HBO Go, definitely go sign up for that. Definitely, because that's a lot of content. And if you're bored, and you want to see some stuff, then there goes that one. What else do we have for them? Is it the Netflix shows?
Oh, yeah. Netflix. Been my BFF this quarantine time.
Well, you have Victoria who shared with us that she's tried and loves Honey Nut and multigrain Cheerios.
All right.
She said try that one too.
But she had to have tried that as an adult because we didn't have that as a kid.
She goes on to say, I have a lot of hobbies, so I find I can fill up my time better than my significant other. Reading, listening to music, working out, TV, movies, etc.
Oh, yeah, she's big on that Zumba live party stuff.
She says he's a major homebody, but he's having a hard time. Restricted from going out when he feels like doing something, obviously. So he's having a hard time with that one.
I feel your pain. That's how I feel.
But he's a homebody.
Well, I'm not a homebody, I don't think.
Yeah.
We enjoy being home, but not all the freaking time.
That is true.
And I told you, it's that feeling of feeling constrained. Like, we can't go out.
Right.
Like, I like my occasional lazy Sundays. We don't do anything, stay home, whatever. But not every freaking day. Every freaking day is a lazy Sunday.
It is.
Except that we have to actually work, too.
That is annoying. I'm all right with that, to be honest with you. I'm okay with working home remotely.
I'm just not feeling being on the damn recliner so much. I feel like
that's on you, buddy. That is on you.
I'm gonna have to take my little stand because I bought a stand on Amazon for my laptop. So I think I'm gonna have to start having it like upright, like on a counter or something, so that I can stand and do it. Because I need some kind of exercise. I feel.
I told you, suicide.
I haven't gained weight though. Thank God.
Suicides in the hallway. That's basically it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Moving on to something a little too hot.
Wait, there was no. Oh well, you're talking about Netflix, right?
Yeah.
So you want to start with what we actually watched?
I mean, we can.
That one particular show that we watched
can.
that we thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, this one is called Back with the Ex. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one.
The show or a comment? I don't know.
This conversation, actually.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So
So
there was 4 couples?
I think it was
3 or 4?
No, it was 4, right? It was the young kid and the two mid a whatever. They were just
30 somethings.
20 something, and then the 29-year-old, and then the older dude. So it was 4.
Yeah.
You can.
Well, okay, I'll talk about the younger ones at least. So the youngest couple, I think, we'll make this conversation quick because we encourage people to watch the show because it's actually a show from like 2018, but it's an Australian show that's on Netflix. That's another thing I think I've discovered about myself lately. Apparently, I like Australian shows on Netflix. I've already watched that, and I've also started watching this other one called The Chef's Table. But anyway, or the Chef's Line, actually. So anyway, the youngest couple, they were high school sweethearts, and then they had an incident and broke up. And they were only broken up for about 3 years. So then the girl is the one that called the show and wanted to try to get back with the ex. So they basically, I think it was a 4-week or 3-week period to kind of get to know each other again to see if they wanted to pursue a relationship. So that's the premise of the show. It's people that you've been with before in a relationship and you broke up for whatever reason, and then they're, reunited to see if they can try to work up to another relationship. So the next couple was, like you said, early 20s, I think. No, mid 20s. And they also broke up, but I think there was a 6-year gap between their breakup. The third couple, I think, was also about 6 years between. Yeah, I think they were in a relationship for 6 years, but I think they were also separated for about 6 years. That was probably my least favorite couple because it seemed like they had a lot of static. The last couple were the oldest couple, which I think both of them were the lady was 50 years old and the guy was about 57. And they were in a long distance relationship, but back in their like 20s. So it was about 30 years gap. So that one, I think, to me, was the most interesting relationship because there was such it's almost like they had a whole separate life in the midst of their breakups, like from when they were first together to when they reunited. So it was just kind of interesting.
I think it's very tough.
Obviously.
I think it's very difficult.
That's an obvious thing.
And I only said that because I have nothing else to say. I can't think of anything. You said so much.
I know. Because I enjoyed the show.
My thing, all right, so the fact of the matter is.
And it's not that many episodes. I think it was less than 10. Might have been only like 8.
They never had closure. I mean, that's pretty much it. They never had closure, and the people, the couple.
Any of the couples?
Well, yeah. I mean, listen.
No, I thought there was closure.
No, I don't think that there was closure in anyone.
1, 2. I think 2 of them, the oldest and the youngest, I think they knew why they broke up.
The
there
oldest,
was closure.
Well, yes, the oldest was because
it was long distance.
It's 28 years of them not seeing each other. Right?
Oh, wait, you mean closure at the end of the season?
Well, they didn't have closure at all. No, in general. Like, why would they want to go back? Why would they want to go back to their exes?
Well, I think the youngest couple is because they felt so comfortable together. And if it wasn't for that particular incident, they probably would have stayed together. Who knows?
Probably not.
You don't know that.
Probably not.
You don't know that.
Look, they were like 20. They were 24 years old.
They were 24 now. I mean, when they reunited, they were like 16, 17
and
years old when they started.
The other ones had like major mental issues, man. Ooh. Mental issues. The other couples.
Yeah, the other couples had a lot of problems.
Like if you really want to, all right, so we like watching these types of shows because, of course, everyone.
Because we like to talk.
Everyone has an opinion, right? But we kind of watch these shows to kind of get some sort of perspective on our relationship as well as how we see things and how we deal with things, how we, handle, situations that require delicacy, I guess. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we also have interesting conversations.
Delicacy.
We have interesting conversations about stuff. It's not like, do you like that show? Yeah, it's okay. And that's it. No, we usually talk it out. So I think that's the reason why we watch these kind of things. Because we like to talk about stuff.
Delicacy. I mean, again, I thought, it's a show that you should watch with your mate,
Well, to be honest, I told you there was like things about wrong. I guess it's easy to pick up on the things that are wrong with people.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, glad you don't do that. I'm like,
Oh, I
glad
didn't.
you're not like that.
You didn't tell me that, so it's good
I
to
didn't
know.
have to tell
It's
you
good
that.
to know now.
But
Now I know what you were thinking. Good shit. I mean, other than that, I think every couple should watch this. You know, maybe it'll spark up a conversation. Hopefully, it's not a bad one.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
right?
Because
no,
then
yeah, don't bring up like you want to go back to your ex.
I mean, why would you
We
say that?
did talk about that,
We did.
but I don't think that's really the point of why we're suggesting for people to watch it.
Because I had to seal my stitches up on my after you stabbed me from when we were talking about it, going back with our exes.
Whatever.
It was rough. It was rough. But yeah, either way, I think you should watch it. I think it's one of those shows where you kind of get some insight. And again, having to go through pre-Kana and having to go through couples therapy, you know, us, you start to pick up on all these little things that you know, in your head you go, oh, that's not going to work. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Like, for example, one of the couples, the guy kept saying, I just want her to, you know, I want to make her laugh, whatever.
All the time.
Yeah, like she's supposed to be happy all the time. It's like, dude, no.
Not realistic.
It's not going to happen. She's not going to be happy. No one should ever be happy all the time. You shouldn't expect that.
That's a ridiculous expectation.
Exactly. And that's one of the issues that are, you know, it's one of those things that you pick up on, especially if you have your own relationship in I don't know, in a grasp. Like you have your shit together. You pick up on those things. So yeah, definitely check it out. The next one that we have here, going back with the exes, to Too Hot to Handle.
Well, that's a new show that hasn't even come out yet.
Oh my gosh. All right, so here's the thing with this one. I'm not really into these kind of shows because it's so like,
you know, you're saying exactly what I was thinking.
it's so like,
You don't like reality shows.
it's not a reality. This is not a reality.
Well, this is not a scripted. I don't think it's a scripted show, so therefore it's reality.
Listen,
based.
when someone is when someone knows that they're being recorded, their actions change. Their mannerisms
of course,
change.
unless it's hidden cameras.
So again, this is not a reality. You want reality? Put a camera inside a person.
I said it was a reality show.
I know you.
It's not
exactly
scripted.
A reality show. You want reality show? You put a camera in an apartment, you know, and you see what they do, 24/7. You see how they act.
Yeah, hidden camera.
Yeah, without them knowing, that's a reality. This is not a reality. So Too Hot to Handle is basically it's a prize, or it's a show, and at the end, I think it's one per. Yeah, I think one person, can win $100,000.
Money makes people act evil.
So they have this show where they put, I don't know how many people. I don't know. It's over.
Maybe 10,
It's
15.
over. It's over. Yeah, it could be over 10 to 15 people, 16 people. I know that they put, you know, a certain amount of women, same amount of women, same amount of men.
Many.
But they're young too. They're not like, we're not talking about guys in their 50s.
Oh, so
You
this
know,
is what, 20 something?
Yeah, we're talking about, you know, those who are 21 and over, probably 21 to like 28, maybe.
Okay.
I'm guessing. And they're obviously, like I said, they're young, and their hormones are kicking. They're in overdrive, and what do you think they want to do? So they, you know,
and of course, there's no ugly people.
right? They're all hot. And they go out to this island and they stay there for I don't know how long, and basically it's, you know, single people looking to mingle. That's it.
Isn't that this whole decade of or this whole generation?
I mean, it's the same in any generation, to be honest with you.
No, I think it's way out there now. Like,
really? Have you been a part of the 70s?
No.
Psychedelic, the drugs,
yeah,
the
but I
sex?
guess it wasn't because there was no social media, that it wasn't out there so exposed. But literally, okay, side note, sorry. I was walking to the laundromat. Yes, I did go to the laundromat, but it was at 7:30 in the morning. I think on Friday, Good Friday. Anyway, so I was walking up to the laundromat and I noticed on the side of a building, which I thought was weird, but anyway, there were stickers for Tinder. And it was like, and I should have took a picture. It was such a stupid thing, like hookups, this and that, like, and I'm like, really? They say hookups like blatant. It's just blatant. So I thought, ugh.
Hey, that's getting it out the way though. That's basically being honest.
Ugh,
You
I
either
don't call it honest. I just call it like, ugh.
you either want it or you don't. Like, what would you prefer? Would you prefer someone to just play games and make you feel like, you're the one? Or would you prefer someone to say, listen, I just want some of that? Which one would you want?
Well, I guess I would prefer the honesty, yes.
Well, then there goes that sticker.
But that sticker was stupid.
That sticker works, man. Ugh. That sticker
so
will
it
work.
basically is a freaking hookup app.
That's basically it.
I'm glad that wasn't around when we were dating.
I mean, there was Craigslist.
Yeah, for serial killers, yes, there was.
Well, I'm just saying, you just for hookups, it's as simple as that.
So I didn't even know that. That's how I guess socially unconscious I was.
In this show, there's a twist to it though.
What's the twist?
What's the twist?
Are you mirroring me?
They won't.
Sorry, inside joke.
They won't understand.
I know. Inside joke.
But we will. We actually. Well.
Don't skip.
At the end, we'll say who the winner is. For the Masterclass 1 year subscription. But either way, anyway. So Too Hot to Handle. There's a twist to it. So you get all these young, attractive,
horny people.
Yeah, horny people. You throw them on an island, give them some drinks. What do you think is going to happen? You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that.
Who says I'm not allowed?
No one's supposed to know what that means.
They don't know what it means.
Well, hello.
They could guess.
You kind of made it obvious. Again, they'll probably screw. That's what will happen. But the twist is, in order to get this $100,000, they'll have to give up sex.
Whoa.
Man, do I even have the music for that, man? That's crazy. No, I don't. I don't. The only thing I have close to it is... Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's basically it. They'd have to give up
Plot
sex.
twist.
So
basically, if they screw, they're eliminated?
If you screw, most likely you're eliminated.
So both people are eliminated then?
It would be both.
So there's
parties.
like 2 eliminations a week.
Right. So what the show is trying to force them to do is force them to think about the person, their heart, their mind, you know what I mean? Like everything about them mentally, emotionally, rather than just physically. To see who can do it and not do it.
Do it but not do it.
Yeah, exactly. See who can do it and not do it.
They can get into I guess you could say, relationship, but they can't do that.
Right.
Got it.
They can't do the do.
Got it.
And if they do the do, then they're
out.
not. Yeah, they're not going to get that $100,000. But I'm so curious to see what will happen, what they would do, how crazy they will be.
Well, I think it's messed up that they're giving them free alcohol because it's like that's supposed to lower their inhibitions.
Inhibitions, exactly. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, if they're actually do it, if they'll be able to do it. I don't know. I don't know if I could actually. I mean, think about it.
I don't want to know about your pre-marriage or like before me person.
Well, you already know.
You
already know how I was.
You were a hoe.
And I'm not.
Just kidding.
I'm just saying. I'm not gonna hide from it. I can't. But either way, I would think that I'd rather do the $100,000. I'd rather win the $100,000 because the reality is, if I'm attractive, if I'm an attractive person, which I'm fairly attractive, I would go.
Oh yeah.
I'd go back home and still get laid.
And right? Probably more because they see the show and they see that you have $100,000.
Exactly. So I mean, again, with or without the show, I'm getting ass. Like it's as simple as that. I'm getting some, and I don't need, $100,000. I don't need,
So how are they supposed to have one winner if they're probably eliminated? See, this is the things we're gonna have to think about.
All right, we're gonna have to find out
when we watch.
And we're gonna have to watch it.
Do you know what the release date is?
April 17th, I believe.
Oh, next weekend. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we got something to look forward to on Friday.
Right. So moving on, I guess one of the things that there's a movie that I watched, and this movie is actually pretty good. It's a true story about these firefighters in Arizona, and it's. I mean, I'm trying to find a way to say it without actually spilling the beans. But either way, the movie is called Only the Brave. It's a really good movie. It's one of those. It's one of those movies that you haven't really heard of. It's underrated, basically, and it again, it tells the story of this 19-member group firefighters who are called they call themselves the Granite Mountain Hotshots, and they battle fires and stuff throughout the area, the region. But it really how can I put this? It makes you think about those who are doing jobs that no one ever hears of, knows about, that are so important to us, and they know so much about it. They know what to do, and they get it done, and they go through so much shit and stuff. And this movie actually is one of them that shows you what they do, how they do it, what their lives are like, what they have to give up, and so on and so forth. I can't tell you what happens, but either way...
I was going to say, don't give any spoilers.
Yeah. You definitely have to check it out, because it is one of the best underrated, never heard of movies that you'll never see.
So, just a little side notes about the movie. It's from 2017. I just searched the internet, and the only places they're available are Vudu, but for rental, and for Amazon Prime Video for rental.
It's a rental? Oh.
Yeah, that's the only, and YouTube TV, I think, also for rental.
It's so worth it.
Unfortunately, right now, they're not offering it on any of the other, like Showtime or HBO channels.
Right. Well, again, if you really want to know...
But it's cheap. It's $2.99. It's not that bad.
That's not that bad. It's a good movie. It's a little slow sometimes, but you really have to... You kind of... there's an attachment to the character, and that's what it is.
So does it remind you a little bit of Backdraft?
No, I haven't seen Backdraft in a while. So I mean I remember seeing it, but I don't remember.
That was one of the better firefighter movies that I've seen.
Well, this is about fighting fires out there.
Fires.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the big difference, not indoor fires.
It's crazy. So it's weird. There's a report of anyway. So yeah, I was actually reading something. I got distracted. So yeah, definitely check out this movie. Check the movie out. Only the Brave is actually pretty good. And now to...
Well, wait. And for any of those people who watched Tiger King, they had a after show today.
I'm not even giving that airplay, dude. Like, seriously.
Listen. It's the #1 show on Netflix. And not only in the U.S., but also in Norway or Europe. So... it's just, if you want to, I guess, a release away from sanity, watch the show. It's pretty hilarious. And it's kind of crazy. But anyway.
I will not watch it.
I know, you refuse.
I refuse to watch it. I don't want to give that any time. That's a lot of time wasted on things that I could actually do for myself. With myself. To myself.
Here we go.
All right, so I guess in the end... that is pretty much it.
Well, wait. You're going to announce the winner?
Yes. The winner of...
free Masterclass subscription for 1 year.
Well, should we say
got drum
now?
rolls?
No,
you got
I don't have
on the
a drum
machine?
roll.
Come on, man.
No, I don't have a drum roll. That's so horrible. The winner of the Masterclass subscription goes to Raina. So whoever Raina is, if you're listening, okay. Well, it's not. I can't help it. It's She
knows who she is.
Is it Rena? Or Why is this? All right. Well,
it's spelled Rena.
I guess. I'm sorry. It looks like Arena though.
I guess, but it's still Rena.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
But yes, she's won it. She's won it. There you go.
Awesome.
Good job. Good job. She's won the 1 year free subscription to Masterclass, which is actually pretty solid. We were just watching, and we'll probably speak about this next week.
We're definitely going to speak about it next week.
So we were, a couple of days ago or yesterday, we were watching
That was yesterday.
Masterclass. It was yesterday?
Yep.
And one of the teachers, I guess, for Masterclass, his name is
Chris Voss?
Chris Voss, and he is a
negotiator.
there you go.
I think he was working for the FBI.
He was actually, wasn't he?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it's for the FBI. He was a negotiator.
So he basically breaks down the art of negotiation. Now, one would think negotiation is that just for like people who are being kidnapped or hostages or whatever. No, it's not.
It's how to apply negotiating to your regular life. So I have to say it was kind of interesting.
Right. It was interesting.
And so people understand what Masterclass is. Not understand what it is, but okay, so the clips, I would call them almost clips because they're not longer than about 10 to 12 minutes each, like, subject within a class. And there could be up to, like, 20 classes. So I think it's good that it doesn't bore you.
It's about 10-minute videos.
Yeah, it doesn't bore you to, like, you're just listening to a lecture for 3 hours, but you can kind of take it in little by little. So, and if there's only specific things you want to learn about, then you can pick and choose the subjects within the class that you want to listen to.
Right.
So
right.
I thought was a pretty interesting concept because I'm not going to lie. When you told me they were lectures for hours, I wasn't sure about it. But when I saw how it was broken up, I thought that was a very interesting way for them to do it.
It's a lot of information, a lot of stuff that I would actually like to learn. Pick their brains, even though you can't really talk to them. But
yeah, and I'm sure everybody and anybody could find stuff that they'd be interested in because they cover a wide variety of subjects. And like I'm looking forward to seeing the one about cooking because they have some chefs on there too.
Yeah, you have Gordon Ramsay.
Yep, that's my son's favorite chef.
He's also part of Masterclass. But yeah, unfortunately, for those who didn't join this contest, who passed on it because
you snooze, you lose.
Exactly, you're really missing out on something that is certainly beneficial to you. You take this time to learn as much as you possibly can while you can.
It's not like you don't have the time.
Exactly. So to those who didn't do it, oh well. And to Rena, congratulations. We'll be contacting
I was gonna say
you.
We'll hit you up
on Instagram to
No, I got her number.
Dude.
I didn't say her last name.
I can't with you. All right, man. So that's it. We're pretty much out. We're done.
Good talks.